70s were a breakthrough time of being both seen and heard in the city of Virginia Beach. Women stepped out of the shadows to become champions of change in their own right, like Carol A. Johnston, who was hired as the first full-time female Virginia Beach police officer. And it was the 70s when the name Myra Obendorf was introduced to residents as the first female Virginia Beach City Council member. We will hear much more on her lasting impact in the decades to come. While those trailblazers were being seen, it was the sound of freedom that was being heard as the F-14 Tomcats began their assignment at NAS Oceana in '74. The wellness community was bolstered with the opening of Bayside Hospital, which had a 250-bed capacity. With the addition of commerce, schools, and wellness, the line, "If you build it, they will come," proved correct. In the 70s, the population in Virginia Beach exploded, making our city nearly as popular as bell bottoms and disco.
Dramatic growth, but by the time the city was formed, the residents who were already here were somewhat used to dramatic growth. When you think about that dramatic growth into the 70s and beyond, certainly the availability of land was an important part of it. Hundreds of acres of land and the opportunity to build private homes. Not only did that land provide opportunities for housing, but it opened up creative opportunities as well. The first explanation was job opportunities. Part of that is explained by the military presence. In addition to that, of course, there was tourism, but it wasn't that tourists came to settle here. It was the fact that tourism created jobs in the form of housing, lodging, motels, restaurants.
There were other high points in the 70s, like the city's purchase of Rose Hall, a site we now call the Francis Land House, a historic house in the Rose Hall district near Princess Anne Plaza. Not too far away was the opening of the Virginia Beach Farmers Market on Princess Anne Road. Just before that, history was made with the successful conversion of an abandoned landfill into a city park called Mount Trashmore. And to celebrate all the pride in our growing city that the 70s had to offer was a thrilling street party and seafood festival on Atlantic Avenue that kicked off the first Neptune Festival and showcased James P. Sadler as our first King Neptune. If you have pictures or videos you'd like to share that captured the early days of Virginia Beach, or proud reflections of what makes this city your home, we would love to hear from you. Visit vbgov.com/nostalgicvb for step-by-step directions on how to get those pictures and videos to us. We thank you in advance for sharing.